Hello, everyone. Today is Wednesday, September 24, 2025. So day for Thursday, 25th. All right, let's go. With no setups again tonight, when I was scanning, I found quite a few, but then I kept willing down, or culling down, and there was really not a whole lot to go after. We'll take a look at a couple of these in just one second. Ugly day in the portfolio, obviously. We were due for a bit of a pullback. I did get an email from one of you guys and said that in after-hours trading, you were able to get an order off on ATAI for the profit target. So that was a bit of a bummer. Kind of took off earlier, then came back in. We'll take a look at that in just one second. The PGen, it's getting a little long in the tooth. In other words, in quite a few days in the pullback, but still looks interesting. It is a biotech. Let's hold off on that for now until we bang out some initial profit targets in biotech, unless we really like something. But for now, let's just hold off there. RBRK, still a short. I don't see any reason to short anything at this juncture. You know me, I like to show you things as I see them. This one, A-Bus, is somewhat interesting. I prefer if it was past this prior peak a little bit further. I don't mind when they have those dual peaks like that when they're at low levels as opposed to kind of mid-range like this. So I kind of pick them apart as I go through them, as you're kind of seeing tonight. So hold off for now. This one caught my eye too, but it's kind of crazy and all over the place. So let's just hold off on new positions for now. Let's take a look at portfolio and then obviously pop out to the overall market and drill down a little bit. TFPM selling off a little bit. It's been on a pretty good run as of late. It was due like pretty much everything else. KGC, a little bit of a knockout there, but boy, that sure is a nice trend so far, remaining intact there. KTOS down a little. Defense corrected a little bit today, as you'll see in just one second, but still looks pretty good longer term. ABCL tried to rally, bit of a bummer, came back in by the end of the day. ATAI was trading higher in early morning trading, after hours trading, or before market trading. What do they call that? Pre-market trading. But obviously, well, not obviously, but I didn't bother taking profits on that one, and obviously I now regret it. That's what the obvious is. But anyway, some of you said you were able to get orders off. Some of you said that you weren't. Sometimes I like to see them. I like to not use an order in after hours so that I could possibly squeeze out some additional profit. So in this case, it didn't work. So there's a trade-off on that. Let me know if that's something that you normally do. And certainly we could discuss it on Facebook. RZLV still looks fantastic longer term. Obviously not doing so well from the entry, but a nice little trend pivot pullback setup working there. So that's kind of interesting. If you missed the initial setup, go in a little bit above this high here. Let's say 750 would be your new entry on that. Any other parameters with give or take 10 cents should work on that. Let's take a look at the overall market and then drill down a little bit. First of all, S&P 500, a little bit of a sell-off, not the end of the world, only really down 0.25%. When you're long a lot of momentum and you get whacked, it always feels much worse than it actually is. But notice, nice persistent up move, still remaining intact there. NASDAQ Composite selling off a little bit off its worst levels after a bit of an opening lap reversal. But boy, that still looks pretty darn good longer term. Rush 2000, sell it off. So far, its uptrend, though, remains intact. Obviously, there's the fence outside day down, kind of an ugly day, but so far the breakout remains intact. There you go. You can see so far so good there. So nothing to really get too excited about just yet. Semiconductors getting hit a little in here, but well off of their worst levels. It closed fairly flat, at least flat for them. You can see nice persistent breakout so far remains intact there. Let's take a look at the metals overall. Uranium came in, as you just saw. Metals and mining coming in a little bit, but still remaining in a serious uptrend. Gold, a commodity, getting whacked a little bit, but look at this run it's been on as of late. So it could certainly use a bit of a correction. Did it for the gold stocks. Same sort of action happening too. Pretty amazing run, but then now coming back in a little. What else is happening? A couple of other areas pulling back in here. Nothing to get excited about. There's robotics and AI just pulling back a bit. So nothing to get too excited about just yet. Market's having a little bit of a corrective process. It's always a little painful when you're long momentum and you've been sort of printing money for a while to give up a little bit. But it comes with the territory, and I think so far, this is a healthy and somewhat orderly correction. If you have any questions, you know the routine. Everybody have a fantastic night. We'll talk tomorrow. Thank you so much.